Okay, so I am getting a little further. It looks like it's done unpacking several packages, and now it's going into another lib GTK thing. So I guess these all are needed for Xorg and LXDE. I kind of want to look into something that's non-X-based, but for now I'm going to U-Power disabled, not starting it. This has been like the longest install for something that I thought would run a little faster, but nonetheless I'm looking forward to seeing how this is going to run. Perhaps it will run pretty quickly. I mean, I do think some of it is slightly due to the right speed of the microSD and the Raspberry Pi, but I don't think it's really that slow. It could just be that I mean the card itself, I don't think it's a slow card. It just, there's just a lot of packages. Probably some stuff don't really run that fast. And quite a bit of packages. What I'd like to do is just turn this into an image that I could just download and use as a backup, because if the disk got corrupted, I wouldn't want to go through all this over again. It would be nice to just use it as something that could be downloaded, even share with others, because I wouldn't want anyone to have to install this, but I doubt it can just run out of the box. I probably should remove my Wi-Fi password though, if it's saved in here. So probably for that reason I won't create an image to share, but other than that I don't see why anyone else can't install it. To just create an image with LXDE. I mean, there's a ton of people who would like to just download an image and run it without having to install it. Not to say you shouldn't, have to try to learn how to use it, but it's just, there's a lot of people who could probably use it and run it out of the box without having to go through all this. I mean, a command line interface is definitely good, but it could be a lot more accessible for having just some very bare bone WIMP interface with memory. DietPi has detected an increased GPU memory is required for your installed software. Would you like DietPi to apply the recommended GPU memory split? I don't know. If I say no, what will happen? I mean, I can get away with another 64 megs. I mean, I still have over 400. But since I went through all this, I wouldn't mind trying it and seeing if I can run on 16. I mean, is it going to crash? Maybe it does need more than 16. Maybe I could try it some other time. I'm just hoping it didn't actually not install it. I hope it could just try running it anyway. Because my guess is it doesn't always use more than 16 megabytes, but I could be wrong. Okay, 31 degrees, 87, cool runnings. I even had a freezer prompt. It was at like 80 something, but with all that installing it must have increased 5 degrees Fahrenheit. I think it was like 85 or 82. So now if I do start X, will I get something? Alright, there we go. That was the longest install. but I'm sure it's going to look nice and crisp here because the resolution was supporting 1080 before. I just don't know if it'll be reflected in the Xorg. Well, the mouse is working, and it looks like, yeah, native, no border. So I have to say I'm pretty impressed with all that. Gears, very nice. And all I really wanted is just to have a terminal or something where I can request more apps if I needed it, and I really have everything I need here. Yeah, that I can test later. So where am I with HTop here? So this is probably a lot better than Raspup. I think it's running a lot smoother here. 18, 40, 74 megabytes swap. So I didn't actually increase the graphics, so I have up to 477. I think if I reserved 64 megabytes of video, I would have had a lot more trouble with running some apps like Chrome. You know, if it runs at 400, it's going to use all 400, and 20 megabytes or 30 megabytes of RAM. So it looks like I have 400 megabytes left, actually, because that's about 405. So we're at 24 idling, doing absolutely nothing other than running HTop, which is using, how much is HTop using? I mean, HTop is probably using something too. But let's try running something else here. Graphics calculator. Okay, 80%. I mean, it is a calculator, so it's got scientific capabilities. I don't know, it kind of reminds me of Raspup. I mean, that was running in RAM. So I'm guessing it's kind of busy, but it doesn't feel slow when I actually click on things. It is pretty responsive, even though it says 100%. Let's try mouse pad, although I don't really expect this to be that slow. It's taken a little while. Root account. So just typing stuff, we're at 45, 33. Well, at least it's not decreasing very much. So it's usable, but I'm just kind of curious here. And then this is also kind of relativistic, because if you were to close this, you can still get an idea how much it's running. So it would probably run a lot slower if I just closed out of it. And you could probably see a lower percentage here. So it still does look kind of slow. But I have to say I'm kind of impressed. You know, I got internet access. I don't think I have a browser. Software launcher, config. I don't think it's asking if I want to save anything. Oh, that's nice. DietPi, kind of like what I had before, but select software. So I should be able to install something like a browser here. I think I'll install that later, but for now I'm just gonna navigate around a little more. File browser. I have to say it doesn't seem as fast as RISC-S, but I think just considering the some of this software support, and you know, there may be a little bit more access, so in that sense it's a bit more like a good balance between having more software access and having it run fast enough to not be incredibly slow. LX terminal, just double check that again. So 80%. I don't know yet, but uptime, load average. Well, it seems to be running pretty smoothly. Just gotta check where the network manager is. G calculator, the calculator. Alright, well, calculator uses a lot, but let's try installing something. Maybe not that. Software. I've got a couple windows open. Okay, XFS. Network tools. Got AY on. Web admin. Net data. Let me look for search. Net surf. Not supported. Search. How about links? There's another one. LINX. Wait. Web interface music. Oops. Okay, lightweight web interface music player. Reinstalled? Oh boy. Hopefully that won't take too long. 100%. Well, it's installing. Yeah, this can take a while, so I think I'll just close this, end this video for now and maybe I'll find some other software to install, but pretty interesting overall. I mean, at least I can work on other things. Just Boom. Maybe this is something that already has a music player, so I won't even need to install this. Also Mixer. Oh, that's just the sound card info. You know, I may as well just skip this too, because hopefully it'll delete what it didn't finish installing. Kind of looks like the Grinch. It's still Christmas. And software, file manager, desktop, so 7 gigabytes, 4.8 gigabytes, so that's about 2 gigabytes for the operating system, and a little more maybe. Well, not too bad. I guess you probably want to use a 4 gigabyte anyway, because if you have a 2 gigabyte you won't really have any space for anything. And it probably won't even let you use 2 gigs. So I would probably use at least 4 or 8 gigabyte. And oh, looks like yeah, I don't know about that. No. 60.9. I don't think it actually supports the GLXGears, the animation, but let me try that again here. Oh, maybe I was trying the wrong one. Maybe I loaded GLXGears this time. Let's see how this runs. Maybe it was ES2 gears that I don't really remember. But in any case, it does seem to be struggling a bit. Oh, there we go. Wow. 100%. Actually, you know what? I think I'll just close this because I don't need that. 3.7. Now this is with 1080p, so if you're running this on like a 1024 by 768, it probably would run a little faster since you have a smaller frame buffer. But 4.946, I have to say, I am pretty impressed for a Raspberry Pi Zero. Again, here it is at work. It is creating a it's creating all this heat. The temperature of this board is something at like 80 something degrees Fahrenheit, but also this is not really a super heated room, which is intentional, but that could even actually work in its favor because it might be able to run a little bit more efficiently than if it's running at like 90 or 100 degrees. But yeah, I mean, this is a Raspberry Pi Zero, and it's running at 4.8 frames. I mean, I'm sure you can definitely optimize it so it's running faster. Maybe there's a lot of other stuff running that you don't need. Of course, if you're running it without LXDE, you probably could get it to run faster. But just to know that you can run this all on a DietPi is a win. Because yeah, not that I would really want to play a whole lot of games on this, but there's quite a bit. GLX info. Let me close this for now. Name of display. Ooh, well, ES2 info. Let's try this other one again. 1.4, oh here it is. So it is moving just very slowly, kind of like the other one. I don't know why it's so dark, but maybe it doesn't have all the acceleration. But in any case, pretty interesting. Software. Mousepad, X archiver, image viewer. Wow, and just to imagine that a computer like this cost $1,200 in 1996 and only ran at 100 megahertz, but probably wasn't as good as this. I mean, this is 900, this is 1,000 megahertz. Well, I think it's really good for writing papers, I bet, because, I mean, if you just need a text editor or something, you know, you can use it on a large screen, and if you don't need a whole lot of rich text formatting, the editor seems just try that again. Yeah, not too bad. View document. I mean, yeah, there's a slight delay, but word wrap, file type, viewer mode, view, toolbar. Okay, a few more options. Status bar, document, tab size, file type, markup. Okay, quite a bit of options here. So yeah, this is a pretty, I would say pretty capable here. I would definitely use this over. I would have to check Raspup, but I think this is better than Raspup. It just seems a little bit like there's just fewer apps, you know, pre-installed and everything. And so yeah, thanks for watching. Don't really have much to talk about on this video other than what I already said, but 86.9 megabytes. So I would say that, you know, it's good that it's only running at 89. I don't remember what Raspup is. I could check the video, but it looks like it has quite a bit of memory left over here for quite a bit of apps. Oops. Should have, yeah, it looks like it has about 300, 400, just a little bit under 400 megabytes free, and it's not using any swap space, so 25 tasks, 1 hour uptime, journal D, daemon. Yeah, I would definitely recommend it. Interestingly, the video doesn't say, I mean, some of the web tutorials don't even recommend using LXDE or a desktop on the Zero, but I wouldn't really listen to that advice because, I mean, if you only have this, you can do quite a bit on this. And secondly, I mean, it is designed for, they say it's designed to run stuff like Pi-hole or servers and stuff, but I mean, if they already took out all the other applications, that should save you a lot of time in removing stuff you don't need. So it's kind of nice to have a headless, so you can just install the desktop if you need